Hey guys, so I get a lot of questions how to make my liquid soap. So here we go, finally making a video. I'm gonna make this a pretty easy, simple, short tutorial. So I'm gonna link all of the recipe details and amounts that you're gonna need for everything. It's pretty simple. This is, or can be used similarly to Dr. Bronner's liquid soap. So you can use it for home cleaning, dishes, body wash, really however you would use a basic soap. I love this because it's easy and it's toxin free, all natural, no added weird ingredients for any reason. So you're gonna need to start with a crock pot. Also, we're gonna start with some water and some lye. Just so you know, you do not need to be scared of lye. Yes, it is a caustic chemical, so if you feel safer wearing gloves and goggles using it, I've used it and I am very safe with it. So I don't feel the need to be too crazy about it, but yeah, it is a caustic chemical, but this is a chemical process that will blend with the oils to create soap molecules. So when you're done, you are not working with any active lye. It is no longer existing. It's just to be used in the chemical process to turn your oils into soap molecules. So just a little word on that. So you're gonna need a crock pot. We're gonna add our water. Once again, all of the amounts are going to be in the recipe, so don't worry about it right now. And then we have our weighed out lye. I already weighed it out. We're gonna add the lye to the water. This is where you do want to be careful. So this is where the lye is going to react with the water and get very, very hot. So you just blend and stir slowly and carefully so it doesn't splash. And you probably need to be a little bit far away from it because the fumes can get a little bit overwhelming. So again, I've been working with this. I make, bar soap for my business and for personal use, of course. So I am pretty comfortable with it, but I am aware that I'm not gonna let it splash up at me or get on my skin in direct contact. So basically what I'm doing is, I'm sorry, this is a bad view, but I'm just blending it and mixing it until it is clear. So we want to make sure the lye is completely dissolved. And then what we have is I already have weighed out my olive oil and my coconut oil. Like I said, I'll include the recipe below. And you can find lots of recipes online for this in different amounts of oils. I just like this one because it's super simple, super easy. You only need 2 oils, olive and coconut. Some people, for a true Castile soap, will just use olive oil. So from here, now I have my olive and coconut weighed out, of course. And I'm adding that directly into the crock pot. And notice it's not on yet. We're not heating it up yet. So I am a fan of reducing the amount of steps of any given process. So you could, if you wanted to, take a immersion blender and blend this up really nicely. But what I do is I just add it all together. As you can see, the coconut oil is still in little chunks, which will melt as soon as we turn the crock pot on. So what we're gonna do now, and I'm serious, you guys, this is so easy. What we're gonna do is we are just going to put our lid on. We're gonna crank it up to low, maybe high. We'll just kind of see. I'm starting with low. And basically we're just gonna let this cook. So the goal here is we're cooking the mixture, and by cooking it, the lye is reacting with the oils, so we're basically cooking the lye out, and in this process, the oils and the water and the lye are all going to do their cool little chemical thing and turn into soap. So basically what we're gonna do is we're just gonna let this sit. You wanna monitor it, you wanna stir it. What's gonna happen is you're gonna stir, and it's slowly going to turn into like a paste, which it's easier to show you, so I'm not gonna go into it too much. So I'll come back in a little while and show you the progress. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half, And I've been stirring it quite a bit, every couple of minutes, I would say, or maybe every 10-15 minutes. And you can see it's starting to look kind of like mashed potatoes, I guess is a good way to compare. And it's getting pretty thick. So this is the time when you're really gonna have to stir it. But I'm just gonna leave it a little bit longer and just kind of keep an eye on it. But it's looking good. This is what we want it to look like. So we're waiting for it to start to look a little bit more like Vaseline. So it's going to look a little bit more transparent and shiny like Vaseline. It's a good way to put it. So let's let it cook more. Okay, so about 30 minutes later, we get what we were kind of looking for, which is for it to look a little bit more like Vaseline. It's kind of transparent and glossy looking. So I'm going to show you a way to test this to know if it is done cooking. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take just a little bit of this soap paste and we're going to mix it and dissolve it into just a couple tablespoons of water. Try to use a clean source, so distilled water or filtered water, so that your tap water isn't going to affect it with any extra chemicals. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend this up till it's dissolved. All right, so we blended this up, and what we're looking for is for the water to be nice and clear. This does look a little cloudy, so we're going to let it cook a little bit longer. And we'll just go ahead and do the test again. All right, guys, so test round number 2 resulted, resulted in a nice clear water after some of the soap is dissolved in the water. So that's what we want. We don't want it to be too cloudy. We want it to be clear. So this is what you're left with. This is your finished soap paste, okay? So you could take a little hunk of this, dissolve it in some water, and as you can see, it gets kind of lathery, it gets kind of bubbly. So that's what we want. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna dilute this soap paste in water, which is going to result in our liquid soap. So I'll go ahead and show you that. Okay, so this is water filtered from my Berkey. You can use distilled water too, but try to use a good filtered water so your tap water doesn't affect it at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this to my warm setting on my crock pot, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my water to my soap paste. I don't measure this part. I just fill to the top. I wait a couple hours or overnight, and basically this is going to end up being a really nice little bit of a thicker liquid, and that's going to be your liquid soap. So I'm going to come back in a couple hours and show you that. So the process from when I started cooking this to now is about 3 hours on the dot. Not too long. I did stir it quite a bit, and I did keep it on my low setting, and I stirred it quite a bit. So you want to be careful that you don't overheat it. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and add more water, fill to the top, and then let it sit on a warm setting to dissolve all of the soap paste in the water. Okay, so I added all my water to the crock pot with the soap paste to let it dissolve. It's the next morning, so now it is all dissolved and it looks beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to store my liquid Castile soap in this old vinegar bottle. You can use really any old repurposed bottle, or even mason jars is fine, but I find these to be perfect. So my funnel, of course, and I'm just going to scoop this soap, and typically I do this in the sink just because it drips and it gets all over the place, and then I can use the excess soap for a big batch of dishes. So that's it. I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so I'm done bottling it up. I ended up with a gallon, and I think this is probably a half gallon. So a gallon and a half of liquid soap, all natural, no added ingredients, all purpose, very affordable, pretty cheap if you buy the ingredients in bulk. And what I'll do is I'll just distribute this in soap dispensers, or squirt a little bit in a bucket of water to clean the floors. Same thing with dishes. So really awesome all-purpose. Really good skill to know how to make just a basic soap. So hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you have questions down below, and hopefully I can help you out, and let me know if you make it for yourself. Bye.